welcome to another cruise craft video. We are headed out on another Disney cruise, the Disney Adventure, leaving out of Singapore. We being myself and my partner Ben in just 21 days. It is coming up so soon. We booked this trip probably 2.5 months ago. This came in tandem with a work trip, and I'm so glad we get to make this happen. I don't think we'd ever get a chance to go on the Disney Adventure because it's leaving out of Singapore if it wasn't for this work trip. So super grateful that we can make this work, but I am so excited. If you have been around before, you know that I've made cruise craft videos before. If you're new here, hi, hello, I'm Ashley. I love Disney. I love all things Disney. I'm new to Disney cruises in the past year and a half. I've gone on 2 other Disney cruises. Those I have a vlog series of those as well if you want to check those out. I've got 2 playlists. I'll link those down below, and they also include cruise craft videos, so check those out if you're interested. But we are going on the Disney Adventure and I am so excited. In this video we are going to do 2 crafts, maybe some more, but right now definitely 2, and those are going to be door decorations and pixie dust. If you are new to Disney cruises, door decorating is a big part of the cruise experience. People go wild with their door decorations, and Disney recently changed their guidelines on what is permitted for door decorations. Previously, people went all out. They decorated the ceiling, the walls, had really big 3D elements that impeded stateroom hosts from getting down the hallway easily. And so Disney had to set some firm boundaries on what was allowed. And so you can only now stay in the parameters of your stateroom door. You can still only use magnets. You can't use adhesives like tape or anything of that nature. It has to be strictly magnets. You can still hang fish extenders. Fish extenders are kind of like a Secret Santa or White Elephant gift exchange. You sign up for this well in advance of your cruise by joining your cruise date Facebook group. You just search your cruise date on Facebook, you join that group, sign up for the fish extender, and you're put into a group of 4 to 5 families, and you buy gifts for that family and you drop them off in their fish extenders, which are typically like little tote bags or envelope organizers or things of that nature. And then we will also be doing pixie dusting, which is the same idea of gift giving, but it's not pre-planned with other families. It is random acts of gift giving, and they're usually like smaller items. Like people do rubber ducks, bracelets, sticker packs, candy, things like that. Previously, what I have done is little notebooks, and that went over really well, and I think it did. We had a lot of fun making those. In this video, we'll be doing something different, so stay tuned for that. But for door decorations, we'll be working on that today, and I was very intentional with what I wanted to make or what I considered making for this trip. Because we're traveling to Singapore, it had to be something that was light enough for weight limits, compact enough that it would fit in our suitcases easily, and also something that I still wanted to make a big impact or a biggish impact on the door and also be unique. So thinking about those things, I came up with this idea to make a fringe element of different tapes and streamers and that kind of thing. I'll show you in a second, but here's a very, very rough sketch of what this will look like. So basically it is just a banner of different fringes, and at the top will be these pre-made clouds that I have, and they'll be all like varying lengths and color blocked. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm basing the colors off the door magnet that we got, which is this Disney Adventure. I just purchased this off of Etsy, and it's Duffy and Friends themed. This is the first cruise ship that has Duffy and Friends on it. If you're not familiar with Duffy, Duffy came about from Minnie giving Mickey a teddy bear on a voyage of his own, and then it kind of spun out of control from there, where now Duffy has a set of friends, much like Mickey has a set of friends. And so there's Shelly Mae, Stella Lou, Olumel, like a whole cast of characters, and they're all on here. Tippy Blue is even on here. He's the super rare character of all of them, and he's one of my favorites. But this is the magnet, and these are the colors that I'm basing everything off of for the door decorations. So let's talk about it. As you can see, this is just going around the top of the door, and how I got the measurements of this is I joined the Disney Adventure Singapore Facebook group, just the general Facebook group, and I asked if anybody had the measurements of the stateroom door. And surprise, multiple people had the measurements of the stateroom door, and so I was able to then cut chicken wire, plastic chicken wire or garden fencing to the correct shape and size of the door frame to be able to make this fringe element. And what I'm using for the fringe is flagging tape in purple, and a majority of the fringe is going to be in flagging tape. And then I have different color streamers. These are the classic like fringe sticker streamers. So I have it in silver, blue, purple, yellow, green, orange, and pink. And then I have a couple of these from my craft storage of these like fake, I don't know what they are, like super faux diamond crystal looking things from a Fast and the Furious costume that I made long ago. And this is what has happened so far. I had to test this out to make sure that it was going to work and that I knew what I was doing before I started this video and just was fumbling along. So I cut out the shape of the chicken wire, and this is just plastic 1/2 inch squared chicken wire garden fencing I purchased from Lowe's, and I cut it to shape to fit around the door frame. I think you can see this. And this will be hung up with magnets. I have a couple strong magnets that I've used on previous cruises that I will attach to the door frame to hang this. And what I'll do is, what I've started doing is I cut the flagging tape in half using an X-Acto knife, and I re-rolled it using sewing weights. But you can see here as I cut it in half, it's not perfect, but I cut it in half and then re-rolled it to be closer to 1/2 inch, because this is an inch thick flagging tape. But I have a couple of rolls of flagging tape, but I've done one roll so far where I've cut it in half and rolled it. And what I've been doing is just feeding it through the squares and looping it to create this fringe element. Like I said, most of this will be purple, and then I'll throw in a few pops of these other colors, and I'll stagger the color blocking of it. So that's what we're gonna do today, is I'll show you how we do this, and I'm gonna put on some tunes, and while I do this, maybe you can work on your pixie dusting or fish extenders, and we can just go through this together. But I think that's it really. I'm going to cut things to size of varying lengths, attach them through, and see where we get. I will just go through and attach everything and then do the haircut later on once it's all kind of finished or in like stages of being finished, and get a general idea of where I want the colors placed. I kind of did that in my sketch a little bit, but I think based on how much of the other colors that I have, it'll have to be more sparingly than what I do have, and most of it will be this purple color. So let me angle this down a little bit and we can get started. Oh, let me show you the clouds that I have. These will also be hung with magnets. They have little holes in the top, but there's a couple of different sizes. There's 3 different sizes. This is the biggest, this is the medium, and this is the small. And I have these magnets that are 3 inches long. They screw into the big circle bases, and they stick out on the wall, so they'll be a little further out than the rest of the fringe to create like a 3D dimensional look. And that'll be at the top of the fringe to kind of hide the top layer of the fringe. So let me angle you down. Let's get into cutting and looping fringe together. I'm so excited. I love doing the store decoration. I love making these crafting videos because it just gets me more excited for this experience and makes that Disney magic even happen sooner than just being on the cruise. So I hope this is fun for you too, and yeah, let's get into it. Cruise crafts. We have learned some things. Let me back up though. So what this is inspired from are backdrops. I'm not sure if you've seen them before, but it was really trendy for a while, like balloon backdrops and these fringe backdrops. And I actually made one for something I was interviewing for, and I needed to have like a creative space. So I made one for that interview. And so when I'm thinking about impact and something that was light and something that would travel well, this came to mind. And I'm remembering a lot of stuff and learning a lot of stuff throughout this process, but this is where we are currently. So I've gotten pretty far up the side, like probably 3/4 up one side of it, as you can see. But what I've learned is with the purple flagging tape, I don't need to do every single row. I'm doing every other row now. So I went back and removed every other row on what I had completed before I realized that. On the tinsel tape, or whatever you want to call this fringe, is still every row just because it's thinner, and I still want it to have a big impact. So let me see if I can show you on the back here. So you can see where I've done every row here and then every other row here. Oh, well, there's 2 rows there, so I messed up, but whatever. And then also what you can see here is there's this big gap here before I started the purple again, and that's because I wanted the silver to show more, so I didn't want to cover it with more purple. So I started the purple up higher so it would not cover that. And then what I'm going to do is trim this to be straight across, so it is more of like a blunt situation and not as random. I think maybe I'll keep it random. We'll see. We'll do the hair cutting last. But this is where we are now. I'm going to continue working on this. I have to walk the dogs and do some chores around the house, but I'll continue working on this throughout the evening, and I'll show you where I get next time I pick up the camera, and then we can continue working on this together. but this is how it's going so far. I'm really excited about how this is looking. It is definitely light. I'll definitely need more than one roll of flagging tape, maybe 2.5 rolls of what I'm assuming. And I'm excited to see the other colors come together. Sorry I keep doing that. That probably doesn't sound good at all. I'm sorry. Ugh. But, okay. This craft is coming along well, and I will see you in just a couple of seconds. It's a new day. I continued working on this last night, and let me show you how far I got. So I finished one, well, almost, let me explain in a second. I finished one full arm, and then I started on the second arm. And I like the way that it's coming out. The thing that I did change is, you know how I said I was going to do every other and went back through and took them out? I actually went back in and did every row. You can see I did the bottom and I haven't done the top yet, but you can see the difference in the fullness. And it's very minor, but I did end up liking the fullness of this one versus the fullness of this one. And so what is left to do is finish. I'm going to go back through and do the rest of the missing rows there. I need to finish this arm and then the top portion. I'm not sure the order of the top portion yet, but I really love how this is coming out. I think it'll be a nice addition to the door, and I think it'll give enough impact without being too cumbersome to travel with, because my plan is to like roll up the leggies and then kind of roll in the top part. And so it should not be too difficult to travel with. I'll tuck it into like a tote bag or something. But yeah, so this is a nightmare below. Look at, this is the aftermath or the during math of everything that is going on. But let's put on some tunes and get to looping some pretty little streamers. Well, it's been a few days and a haircut later, and I finally finished. This was very tedious. I do not recommend this for the faint of heart. I watched lots of YouTube, lots of Taskmaster, and I took lots of break because it was just very tedious, but I finally finished it. You might be able to see it hanging behind me, but I'll show you in a second. I also made our fish extender out of the same thing, so I just took a smaller panel and then just looped it all. And how I'm going to use this is I took a brown paper bag, just like a little gift bag or, whatever, and I took packing tape and reinforced all the edges. And I'm going to hang this part on the stateroom number, and then I'll attach this to the front of it using zip ties. And it's pretty light, so it'll just like hold open the bag a little bit. And the cool thing is I'll be able to slide this in here for packing purposes. So it is easy to transport. So that is our fish extender. I'm really pleased with how this came out. I think it's, just easy and fun and matches the door frame. Let me show you the door frame now. So this is the door frame. Oh, the air is on, so it's blowing a little bit. So this is the top of it, and then it goes down. Those are litter wormies I'm working on for my small shop called Yelwap, if you're interested in following. But that's the leg of this side, and it transitions into silver a little bit. And then the other side comes down, and we have a little bit of yellow, and then it finishes off with blue. I'm going to take the clouds, and I bought hooks that sit like 3 inches out, and so the hooks will go, or the clouds will go across the top. And again, I have a couple of different sizes of them, and I'll layer them, but that's the general idea, if you can envision that. So that's it for the door decor. I really like it. I feel like it's impactful. It'll transport easy. It's really light. I think it'll make for something fun and something different. But next is our pixie dust. So we'll get started on that. It'll be maybe a little bit for me, but just a second. Let's do it. What's been a second for you has been a couple of days for me, but today is pixie dusting day. We are going to make some pixie dust. I made one already just to get an idea of like the process I would do, but this is the general idea. They're little packs of pixie dust, so they're little satchels with sequins in them that are Mickey shaped and star shaped. And then they have a sticker on them, and the idea is for them to hang them. I'm going to add more sequins to the ones that I actually make, but this was the first run. It has a little star charm on it, and this one has a little picture of Olumel, and I sewed up the sides, and this is the general idea. I hope people like them. I don't know. I don't know, they're very DIY, but I've already committed, and so we're going to do this. The first thing that we'll need is vellum paper. It is this translucent paper. It's typically used in like wedding invitations as an overlay. As you can see, it's pretty translucent and you can see everything that's underneath it. It's pretty thick and almost has like a plasticky feel to it. It might actually be plastic. I don't actually know, but you can print on it. It's pretty cool. I really like it. So I have a pack of vellum paper. I printed out cards to go inside the little pouches explaining what this is. But it says, "This little pouch is filled with wishes for magical moments, happy memories, and a touch of Disney wonder. Hang it somewhere special and let it be a reminder to dream big, laugh often, and embrace every adventure that comes your way. Wishing you a smooth seas, happy hearts, and truly magical cruise. Your pals in room 9971." And then I linked to the YouTube channel. So this will go inside the pouch that the little satchel will go in for delivering the pixie dust. And what it's filled with is all these sequins. So I got a couple of packs of sequins that I'm going to mix together. I picked all of these sequins up off of Etsy. I'll link them below, but I have these Mickey shaped ones, these little flower shaped ones, and then these star shaped ones. And then I purchased these like polymer clay clouds that I'm going to toss in there too. They're a little thicker. So we're going to toss some of those in there. The stickers that I'm using for the outside of the satchels are these Duffy and Friends stickers that I also purchased on Etsy. If you watch my first cruise craft video, I also used stickers from this company, but they made a Duffy and Friends sheet for me this time. And last time I asked them to make a cruise sheet for me. So I'm going to put a Duffy and Friends sticker on the front and then a cruise sticker on the back. I also got some Mickey and Minnie stickers. I like the idea of just like popping these on the bottom, and that's the Mickey, and here's the Minnie. And then I have these big sheets of Duffy and Friends that I'll use. I'm not going to use the palm tree, but I'll use the rest of them. And I'm going to make two different sizes of satchels. So I'm going to do the small ones, and then I'm going to do larger ones to account for the size of these, so it's just more proportioned. So what else I'll need is a little mixing bowls, and I want to make sure I'm doing the same amount of sequins in all of them. So I have my measuring spoons, I have my rounded corner punch, I have these little, what are these actually called? Reinforcement labels. So you can see it through here. So I just put those on the inside, just one on one side, so it's a little bit more sturdy. And then to make the chain up at the top to hang it, I have these stars to add on, and then little hoop clasps. And then these are the chains that I'm going to use. They're just little chains. And again, these are the bags that everything will go in and we'll deliver the pixie dust with. So that's everything. Oh, and my sewing machine. That's everything. So the first thing we're going to do is cut out the vellum sheets in order of operations. We're going to cut out the vellum sheets, fold those in half, round the bottom edges of the corners, attach these reinforcement labels, sew them up on both sides. And then what are we going to do? We're going to then round the top corners, attach the sticker, add the sequins, and then glue the top with a glue pen. I didn't mention the glue pen. This is a glue pen that will just do the top so no sequins fall out. Oh, we have to punch the holes, obviously, for the chain to go through. And then we'll stuff the little packets. So this is everything we'll do today. So we'll run through some of these together. I'm roughly making about 200, which I know is a lot, but I have 200-ish stickers to work with. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend a lot of time walking around the cruise pixie dusting. Okay, let's get into it. I made a template first using a plain sheet of printer paper just so I got the measurements right and didn't waste any paper. And this is for the larger one. So we're going to cut these out. Now that all the strips are cut, we're going to fold in half and round the bottom edge corners. So just line it up, gently press, and I'm using the medium one. What I'm doing now is with the corners rounded and these folded in half, I'm using this guide to sew these together and I'm just daisy chaining them. Something I forgot to do was add the reinforcement labels, so I'm going to go back through and painstakingly add these to the inside before I sew up the other side. So I'm just doing it in the middle on the inside, like that. Now that all of them have been stickered, I'm going to sew up the other side. With these done now, I just need to cut them apart. So I'm just gonna take my scissors and cut them apart. Time to round the top corners. We did the base of everything. I just went through and punched all the holes as you saw in the little thing. And now comes the fun part. I get to add the stickers. So again, we're adding the smaller ducky stickers to the smaller ones and then the bigger ones to the bigger ones. And then all of them get a little cruise one on the back. And I also have the Mickey and Minnie set too. So we'll go ahead and do that. This is the fun part. So I don't know how much of what I want to add so far, but we'll start with the big one. So we'll try 1 teaspoon. That's too much. Now we take the glue pen and just go over the top. Press down. And it's closed. Now that they're all sealed up and I just used this glue pen, I'm going to take these little star charms and put them on little rings. I did some already. Let me show you. While I was watching Drag Race last night, I just looped them on like so. And now I'll take the chains and feed them through the hole. Attach the charm. Close up the little thing. And there you have it. And then what I'll do is take one of the Pixie Dust cards that explains what it is, and one of these little pouches. Tuck in the card. Tuck in the little charm. Seal it up. And we have our Pixie Dust. I hope people appreciate these. They are tedious to make, so I hope someone appreciates them. I hope they think they're cute. I'm having fun making them, but it is definitely tedious. There are lots of steps. I'll definitely have to do all of this in batches, so I'll probably do a batch of filling, a batch of gluing, and then put everything in a pouch at the end. But I'm pleased with how this came out. It's very cute. Again, I hope people appreciate this or like it. We'll see. What I plan to do is give these out the first night and walk around and take video of all the doors, and I'll make a video of that just so people get an idea and inspiration of different door decor. I love door decor, as you know, like you saw me make all of our door decor. So I thought I would walk around and film some of my favorite doors and then make a video out of that and show you what people do. But yeah, so that's this video. I'm excited that you made it this far. If you did, thanks for sticking around and thanks for going through this journey with me. I'm really curious what you do for pixie dusting and how you decorate your doors. So please let me know. As you can see, like I really love this. So let me know what you do or what you would like to see. I'm open to like making other things. So let me know. Happy to do it or excited to do it. But yeah, how far away are we? 7 days? No, I'm 7 days from leaving. No, I'm 6 days from leaving. So that makes us, I don't know how many days until the cruise. X number of days till the cruise. Not too far away. Less than 2 weeks, definitely. Yeah, excited. So next I'm going to do a packing video. So I'll show you the things that I bought for the trip, do an outfit try on situation and show you everything that I'm wearing and then pack it all up. And then the vlogs start. I will be vlogging every day. I'm really excited to share this experience with you. I'm excited to capture these memories so I can go back and rewatch them. But yeah, thanks for coming along and I hope you come back for more and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye friends.